how social media perceives me.
But this is where me and you are different, because I don't actually care.
Yeah, but I care too much.
Welcome to One More Like, where digital life meets real life moments. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Georgia. Let's go.
Why have we started a podcast?
Why am I so nervous? I actually feel like
Right,
if
ready?
I had a mic on, you'd feel my heartbeat. I feel like how when we were filming, that's how it feels.
Why? It's just me and you sitting there.
I'm going to get a bit sweaty.
It is quite nerve-wracking because, like, I guess we never really thought we was going to do this, to be honest.
It's also nerve-wracking because you're putting it out there into the world for people to judge. Well, that's why we haven't done anything like this ever before.
But this is where me and you are different, because I don't actually care. I don't care what anybody thinks. You care what people think.
Yeah, but I care too much. But this is why we're creating this podcast, to kind of say to people, stop caring what people think about you on social media. If you want to post it, just post it. If you don't want to post it, don't post it. If you want to deactivate your account, deactivate your account. Make it an inspiring place rather than a stressful comparison place, right? I feel like that makes sense.
So who's going to ask the first question?
I'll ask you. Well, I feel like this is what everyone wants to know anyway, so we may as well start the podcast with it. Why did we move back to LA?
I was kind of thinking about this the other day, and a few people have asked us like why we moved back to LA. And I keep giving like the easy answers, like the generic answers. Like, oh, the weather's better and the lifestyle's better and I like the culture, and like they're the obvious things to say, right? But then I thought a little bit deeply about it this morning because I thought this question was going to come up. And I was just thinking like the reality for me and my version of why I moved to LA, and you're going to have yours as well. But for me, I think we was falling into society's system a little bit. And I just didn't feel like I was ready to settle down and have kids and start that kind of mum and dad life. And I felt like when we were back in the UK, we were already on our way to doing that. We'd got engaged, we moved and bought a big house. Like the next steps were to get married and then have kids. And that's kind of like what a lot of our friends are falling into by the time they're our age. And I don't have any issues with it. I love our friends, I love their kids. But for me, probably I realized it when we did the House of Sim show. Like when we came out to LA and we just kind of started exploring and it became like a big adventure. And then when we went home, I was a bit like,
here we go again.
Yeah, I'm not really ready for this. So for me, a big part of coming back to LA was let's keep the adventure going. Let's keep exploring. I don't feel like I'm ready to be a dad. And I don't feel like, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not ready to settle down, but like I'm just not there to fall into society's net a little bit. What would you say your
The
reasons?
thing is, we talk about this a lot in terms of like, when are we going to have kids? When are we going to get married? Like, it's always a topic of conversation when we're around other people. When it's just me and you, I don't feel like it's really in our kind of like vicinity of what's going on, because there's so many things that you want to do with work. There's so many things that I feel like I haven't achieved yet. So that is actually completely at the back of my mind. Although I feel the pressures of society because I am 33 and I'm a woman. When we went back to the UK, I felt exactly the same way. And this is not like a dig at friends and family, but it is constantly a question. When are you going to have kids? When are you going to get married? Which is fine. It's something like that everyone wants to see. But for us, it felt like a bit more of a pressure of, oh shit, like when are we actually going to do it? Because I'm 33. You're 33 now, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
So coming here, I just feel a lot more free and open to actually navigating my own life. And I just feel more creative. I want more for myself. I want more for us. And I feel like that's why I left the UK. I felt like there was more out there especially for you anyway, in what you're doing. We have to be here.
Well, the big question we've always been asked is, when are you getting married?
Can I just say, do you know what? I thought about this morning. When are you getting married? The reason why it feels like people have been asking us for so long when we're getting married is because we have been engaged for so long. However, you proposed after 6 months, right? Out the norm, strange behaviour. But you did. We could have been together this whole time without that engagement, and we never would have felt that pressure. So it's only because you asked the question so early that it feels like we've been asked for so long, when are you getting... Do you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like if we didn't get engaged...
People would be like, when are you going to get engaged?
When are you going to get engaged? When are you going to get... It's just, this is what I'm talking about. Society in the real world, that's just what happens when a couple gets together.
Your steps of what you go through as a couple.
Yeah.
And I love that for people that have got engaged and instantly got married. Like, all my friends got engaged after me and they're all married and they all have kids. And I love that for them. Like, their kids are incredible. But I just don't picture that for myself at this moment in time.
Also with the wedding, like, I feel like I haven't really visualized it how I want it to go. And I feel like when yeah, obviously you have. But when we got engaged, I wasn't like thinking, oh, we're going to have a big white wedding. Or we're going to do a shotgun Vegas thing. Like, I just didn't know. Like,
but don't forget as well, when we got engaged, I'd known you for 6 months. We still getting to know each other, like years into our relationship. But as an engaged couple, we moved in together like instantly. So our relationship kind of just snowballed super fast. And I feel like now it's just slowing down.
Yeah.
And we're just getting in the routine of like just a normal relationship. Yeah. And it's nice. Like, we're always on the move. We're always on the go. We've moved countries. Like, everything's different.
Yeah.
I feel like we're completely off course here.
We have gone a bit off course, but we're talking about like the big questions that we get asked all the time. And those are, why have you moved back to LA?
But again, everything is always referring back to like a social standpoint. How do you feel? Like, I personally get all my pressures from social media. I see my friends having kids. I see my friends getting married. I see influencers getting married, doing all these things. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that. And I definitely fell into that trap maybe like 3 years ago. And I was like, child, like, we need to get married like now. Like, it's now or never.
Yeah.
And then I kind of took a step back. It was actually when we were filming House of Sims. I was like, we have to get married. We have to. And then I took a step back and I was like, never in a million years would I want to put our wedding on a show. Like, I could never do that. And I'm so glad that we didn't, because I think I'd be so devastated today if I had allowed that to kind of happen.
Well, season 3 was supposed to be the wedding. That was that we was gearing up for it.
Listen, one of them 3 will get married before us. It definitely won't be me and you.
We were gearing up,
especially on socials anyway.
We were gearing up for season 3. We'd obviously finished season 2, House of Sims, and it was about the hen party. That was kind of the ending scene. And then season 3 started writing it, and it was going to be the wedding. And we had no idea where it was going to be. We actually know that's a lie. We were planning for it to be in LA. We were just going to get a beautiful house and do it there. But that probably brings us on to, where is the House of Sims? Another question that we get asked a lot, like, where is it? Yeah. What's happening with it? What's it like shooting it?
I'll let you take that.
Well, the reality is House of Sims is chapter is closed.
It was a great experience. I love the show. I love the concept. And that's done now. And we're filming a vlog. We filmed our journey to LA with our dogs, which actually will be live now when this goes live. And then we filmed coming home, what we've been up to. And then we're just going to continue the vlogging, continue the podcast, and just keep it all flowing and keep you up to date.
The vlog's been pretty fun. Like, I didn't think we was ever going to do a podcast, and I definitely didn't think we was ever going to do a vlog. I just didn't think we were them kind of people. But when we started talking about it and we started filming it, it become really fun. Yeah. And I've really enjoyed doing the vlog, to be honest. It's just a little bit difficult when you try and get the camera out
Yeah.
in
Do you know
public
what?
all the time.
When you're not influencers, I do that in brackets because I think some of them don't like to be called influencers.
I don't.
But when you're not an influencer, it is so strange to just put your life, every single bit of it, on camera in order for you to edit and have a great vlog. Like, it's so strange. And I hate filming in public. I can't even get a picture, let alone a video.
Filming in public is the worst thing.
But the reason, I just want to add, the reason why we're doing the vlog and the podcast is because the podcast isn't going to be about us. The podcast is going to be about the pressures of social media, validation within such like a digital world that we all basically surround ourselves with. And then our vlog is going to be our take on our life here in LA, and also what we do taken away from social media to make ourselves feel better. So what habits do we add in to our day-to-day life that make us feel better every day? Because you can sit and scroll and feel absolutely awful about yourself, but what are we actually doing to make ourselves feel better? So that's mainly what the podcast will be about.
Yeah.
Adding in a little bit of life and fun and how we feel about certain things, but the vlog is going to be more LA life.
Well, yeah, shooting House of Sims, this is a good way. Like, shooting the House of Sims was a reality show, and it was supposed to follow our lives in a way that felt real. But actually, when you watched House of Sims, it was just a very small clip of like what we'd been up to.
Yeah, you didn't really get any in-depth conversations.
Whereas the vlog just is so real. Like, you're just on the cuff, filming everyday life, trying to capture all those moments and keeping them as well. So I really like the vlog and the way that we shoot it, and I hope everybody else will enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
But the podcast is a little bit different. Like, I think for us, because firstly, we've been together for 8 years. We celebrated that recently. And throughout the last 8 years, we've kind of dabbled in so many different things. But all of those things in terms of work, they've all connected to being in a digital world. They've all connected to being on socials, or, filming House of Sims was streamed. So for us, it's always digital, and content's always been in our lives, like from very early start.
Yeah.
And I've watched you grow, like your makeup channels and using makeup tutorials to kind of build your profile commercially. I've worked in the sports industry for a long time, did big commercial deals that have ended up having content, digital features embedded into them. So we've been around and understand the life of being in the content world.
I feel like we've always been on the back end of it though. We've never been at the forefront of that sort of stuff. So for us to actually be putting ourselves at the forefront, like, we're passionate about it and we want to make this work.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting through all of the people that we've met as well along the way to get them on the show. And talk to us, whether they're a startup brand and are using socials to really build their brand up and tell their story, or whether they're somebody who's been on TV and, they're getting their show streamed, and just kind of analysing the benefits of that and also the pressures of that.
Yeah.
And what living in the real world is actually like for them and for us.
Yeah.
And what living in the digital world is like for them and for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice way to explain what the vlog does for us and what the podcast is going to do for us.
So we filmed leaving the UK, which you'll see, with the dogs, with a company called K9 Jets, which was just a complete mad experience, which if you watch it, you'll know why. I'm not going to give it away, but you should watch it. And then, it was just jet lag after jet lag for days here.
Well, we didn't really have a lot of time, did we? That was the problem. When we decided that we was going to come back, we'd been home in the UK for a few months. We decided that we was going to come back to LA, or getting the dogs from London to LA is a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Kind of made a few calls. K9 Jets come about, flown with them before, decided that we was going to fly from London to LA direct. And just great company, but they said that they only had 2 seats on this specific date.
Which was like 5 days out.
5 days from that call. So I immediately got off the phone and I was like, George, we've got to go.
Yeah, and
We've got to go in
as you
5
can
days.
imagine, you've got 5 days to pack up your stuff.
Yeah, whole life, because we was moving everything back. And obviously, we just redecorated the house. We were still having furniture delivered to the house. Like,
it's weird though, because people ask, why did we do that, knowing we was going to go back to LA? But with your work, and obviously we've got all our friends and family there, we want to be able to go home, back to the UK, and just unlock the door, walk in and be comfortable and just get straight back into life. Because before, when we rented our house out, you'd stay in a hotel and it was just uncomfortable. So that's why we redecorated it. So when we go back, it's just home from home. Like, that's it. Our LA experience has not been smooth sailing, I will say that. Eventually it ended up just being you and I and Chloe and Madison, which was wild. Can I just add, like, I was actually looking through some videos the other day. Do you remember when you had to get the mattress from downstairs to upstairs with Chloe, and you honestly couldn't do it? It was massive. It's like a Super King, and it ended up just flattening.
It was bigger than a Super King.
It just flattened us all. And then they had rain, which LA is not suited for, and the whole basement flooded. And she did say to us, the ladies whose house it was, she was like, please don't put anything in the basement. We thought, that's really strange, but we're going to do it anyway. And then we went down there and all the suitcases were just floating around. And then you open the garage door and all the water just...
No. I went into the basement and I was like, I could hear dripping, like a waterfall dripping.
As if someone had left the shower on.
Yeah, as if the water was just gushing, like it was gushing. And I was like, what the hell? Like, this is so weird. So I unlocked the door, walked into the basement, and then the stairs going down into the basement. And I was like, the suitcases are floating where the stairs are. And a little bit higher was where our boiler was.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a gas boiler, and I could see the flame in the boiler. And I was like, oh my God, if this gets any worse, the boiler's going to blow up. The whole house is going to blow up. So I remember calling you and Chloe. I was like, we need to go down there. We need to figure this out. And then there was a tiny little drain.
The smallest
tiny
drain.
And I was like, that's weird. Like, I did see it before and I was thinking, that's a bit weird. But then obviously I realized that they knew it flooded when it rained. And obviously in LA it doesn't rain often. So
what's the film with thingy in it that we watched the other day?
The Money Pit.
The Money Pit. That's what that...
With Tom Hanks.
This house was like that.
It was unbelievable to look at.
You'd open it, stunning. Bel Air, you couldn't go wrong. Beautiful garden overlooking the hills, dream come true.
Pool.
However...
It was all white, it was inside, it was beautifully done. The rooms were huge. When we moved in, I was like, this is amazing.
But then, one day I just opened the fridge and the whole trim just fell off the fridge.
Yeah.
You'd open a cupboard and the handle would fall off.
I turned on the shower one day and the head fell off.
Yeah. There was just so many things within that house that actually I wish...
Pool was freezing.
Pool was freezing. Everything you could think of was in that place.
We're going to get Chloe on at some point.
Yeah.
We've got to, because there's so many good stories.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that with this podcast, as much as we're going to discuss LA life, what we've experienced since we've been here, just to kind of keep people up to date because it runs alongside the vlog, I also want to make sure that people take something from it.
There's so many interesting people that we could get on the podcast to share their stories.
Yeah.
How the social and digital world's benefited them, and also the pressures of that. So
we want to make it interactive as well. So if anyone wants to see anyone that we know on here, or if you want to let us know of a conversation that you'd like us to have, or if you have any hacks for us, I don't know, things that you've learned and that have worked, we want to know, because I feel like we need to put this out there in order for people to be comfortable with their social media, because it can be a very negative place.
100%. Drop it in the comments. And thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week. Remember to follow the IG and the YouTube channel, and you'll see our schedule.
Low-key likers, remember to subscribe, comment, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.